All right, guys, we're going to look at this, what's called an amortization table, okay? And the amortization table is a spreadsheet outlining your payment schedule on a loan. In this case, we're looking at a mortgage, okay? And we can take the mortgage on, any amount we want. Up here, we got 350,000. We're going to change that and show you how everything else changes in the spreadsheet, okay? And the spreadsheet's not entirely built, so we want to show you how to rebuild that, and then you're going to have a worksheet with some questions relevant to the spreadsheet here, okay? So let's just modify this slightly so you can see some of the changes. Okay, so up here we're going to put in um, the amount of the property that we're borrowing, that we're looking to buy. Okay, so let's maybe change that to 425,000. Okay, and we're gonna still put down. Let's put down. Well, the 5% down is 21,000. Okay, so which is now implying that you're going to be borrowing 403,750. Now let's just change that rate a little bit to see how, again, everything else is going to be altered. So let's we don't we didn't get a chance at such a good rate. We're going to say we got a 4.15% rate. Okay, and again, you can see I just put that in as 4.15. Okay, now what is your monthly payment? Well, here it is, okay, $1,962. And of course, that's all computed for you automatically, but you get that same figure if you ran that through our calculator program, okay? Uh, the total interest, of course, is um, this $1,900 a month for the $360 uh, of the 360 monthly payments, okay, less the 403,000 that you're borrowing. So it's again, here it is. It shows you right here. It's 360 times the value in H4, which was the monthly payment, less the value of your loan that is in E7, 403,750. So when you're all finished with the loan, you're going to pay $302 in interest. Now, here's this figure here, okay, which is the interest only payment. Now, if we come down here, we see that our payment of $1,900 a month is never changing, never changing. Now, okay, that payment has got to be split up in such a way that part of the payment goes towards paying off this $403,000 of principal that you're borrowing, and the other part of the payment goes towards this $302,000 in interest that you're paying. Okay, and you can see they're not the same if we go throughout the life of the loan. In fact, let's go and take this down through the life of the loan. Now, the life of the loan is 360 payments, 30 years. So this has only been showing the first 12 months of the year. So we would want to drag this down. In fact, since it starts at 14, we want to drag this down to 374. So we're going to grab uh, this last row going across, and then we're going to grab the until we get the crosshairs here, and then we can just drag that formula all the way down through that column number 374. So it's going to take a while, and you just got to bear with it, but it's going to save a whole lot of calculations in the long run. So this is just going to be dragged down through the life of the loan, 370 to 360 payments down through cell 374, column 374, at which point we will have terminated the loan. So we're right about there now, right? Okay, it looks like I stopped one cell short, so I can just drag that down one more. Okay, and this is exactly what you're going to have to do with Okay, well, actually, we're down to the 360th payment. Now, let's take a look at summing up these, okay? So, you can see now, okay, that up here is the ending balance. The ending balance was 0. Here's our total interest. Here's our total principal. Here's our total payment, okay? So let's do something. Let's sum up all those values so we can see how this makes sense to us, okay? So we're going to put down here, and we're going to put a formula equals the sum, just SUM parentheses, and then we're just going to grab this and just go all the way up, okay, uh, to the first payment, okay? And so uh, that will show us the total sum that we've paid of over the life of this loan. Okay, so going right to there. All right, so there we have that. We'll just enter that, and that will pay. Okay, that will show us what we've paid. Okay, now we're just going to drag that formula across. Okay, we're just going to drag that formula across all the way down to here. Okay, and okay, so here's the agreement. Okay, here's the 403,000 that you've borrowed. Here's the 302,000 that you uh, that you have in interest payment. Okay, and this is really not relevant. You can do away with that. These three figures. Obviously, you see that this quantity is the sum of these two. Okay, so now let's get an explanation. Okay, every month, okay, you're paying $1,950. I'm sorry, you're paying $1,962, part of which goes towards the principal payment, part of which goes through the interest payment. And as you can see down here at the end of the loan, the greater portion is going towards the principal, the lesser portion going towards the interest. Whereas at the beginning of the loan, it's quite the opposite, okay? Of the $1,900 that you're paying, okay, 1,300, close to 1,400 is going towards interest. Now, how is that computed, okay? All right, over here is the way in which that's computed, okay? You're paying on 403,750 dollars that you're borrowing at a rate of 4.15, but you're only paying on that quantity for 1 month, for the first month. Okay, because so then that's what this value is here. It is exactly, okay, the amount that you borrow, okay, which is the indicated here, okay, as 400 and 407 403,750 times the rate divided by 12, because you're only paying for that much. Okay, so that quantity goes right here. Now that quantity, okay, is taken from the 1,900 a month to give you the amount of the principal payment. Okay, so that now what we've done is, okay, we've paid down $566 on this 403,000 loan, which reduces, okay, the amount of the loan to 403,183. Okay, so this here number in the ending balance is, okay, the difference of the principal payment made from the loan amount. Okay, so then the loan amount in the next month becomes this value of 403,000. Okay, there again, all right, this figure over here is slightly less because it is, if you look at it, it's this quantity. It says B15, which is this quantity, all right, times the rate divided by 12, okay, which is that. And again, that is how much of the monthly mortgage payment is going towards interest, okay. That taken from the amount that you owe now is applied towards the principal, okay, and the new principal is now reduced to 402,000, so on and so forth. Okay, so that's how the spreadsheet works. That's what these imply, okay. And we're going to in the next video manipulate this to talk about answering some particular questions that I'm going to have for you. Again, these values are from your program, but they're right here. Yours exercise will have a different purchase price and rate and down payment. But the only thing new that we have here is this quantity, which again is, okay, the amount of your loan times your rate divided by 12. But realizing that every month, okay, your loan is diminishing by a quantity, okay? And so you have to take that off, okay? So this loan, this interest amount is taken from the total payment to produce the principal payment. The principal payment taken from your loan balance gives you your new loan balance. Your new loan balance times the interest rate divided by 12 becomes the interest payment. The interest payment taken from the mortgage payment produces the principal payment. The principal payment taken from the loan balance gives you the new loan balance, okay, which is then moved from the last column here to the first column, the next row down, so on and so forth, okay? So that is how the amortization table works, okay? And as you can see, this is what you pay every month, a portion of which is allocated towards principal, a portion of which is allocated towards interest. At the start of the loan, the interest payment is the greatest, okay? At the end of the loan, 360 months down into the loan, your interest payment becomes less and less, and your principal payment becomes larger, okay? So that is what we have as our amortization table. And we'll come back with another